Alright guys, welcome back to another how-to video from Sac City AutoParts. Today we are going to be putting the CZP Akebono big brake kit for the S13. This also works for S14 and S15 as well. Just make sure to buy the proper bracket. So we're going to go through the parts right now of what we have. This is the adapter. Probably one of the most important parts of this kit. We have a spacer that will actually mount, so like when the caliper is on the knuckle, or going to go on the knuckle, this has to sit just like that. So you'll see that it's all beveled out just perfect to fit right there. And then comes with obviously per side you're gonna have 2 mounting bolts for the caliper, and then you're gonna have 2 mounting bolts for the adapter. You have your rotor and you have your Akebono. These came off of a 370Z that we got in, and we are going to repurpose these on this car right here. You can see the side's already done, looks good, and this side will look good. Well, I mean, it looks good right now, but it'll look even better in a second. So let's get started. First, I'm going to mount the adapter bracket. So we'll grab our bracket, and we're gonna grab our 2 smaller hardware. And when I say smaller, I just mean like smaller diameter, not length. Okay, so we're gonna start with our bracket. Our bracket, the longer bolt, and the shim, or whatever you would want to call that. So slide that in like that. And when you're dealing with hardware in general, always start it by finger first. Know that you're in the threads. Get that one in there like that. Go to the smaller one. And right now what I'm doing is I'm just getting it snugged up, finger tight. And then I'm actually gonna grab my caliper and then mock it up right here so that I know where to place this, because it's very, very, very precise on where this shim lands. Like if you have it too high this way, it's not gonna allow the caliper to slide into this groove. So I'm gonna get this tightened down and then grab my caliper and kind of dry fit it without the rotor on, so that when I go to put my rotor on and when I go to put the caliper on, everything fits nicely. Okay, so I got my caliper in one hand. All this is still movable in here. It's tight, but it'll still hold. So you're gonna go like this, hold the caliper with your left hand, and then thread in the bottom one. And once that bottom one's tight, you can come up to the top right here. And you're going to want to move this to where it fits literally perfectly in there. And then when you look through that hole, you can clearly see that this bolt threads in easy. Okay, so I'm gonna tighten these guys down now that I know that the caliper is gonna go on there nicely. Okay, so that's all tight now. Now we're gonna pull the caliper back off. Like that. Set these to the side for a second. And then whenever I'm doing this, I'll put my rotor on like this. And just to make sure that the rotor's gonna naturally wanna like tilt or not stay flush to the hub. So just grab a couple lug nuts like that. And basically this is just gonna help when you're mounting the caliper on top of it. Everything is gonna stay in place and not walk around. Don't get stuck. Okay, and then we're gonna grab our caliper right here. Like what I like to do is I like to set the caliper on the bottom actually, and kind of get my head in there so that I can see when the pad is going around the rotor. And then you'll feel it slip up like that. You can put that in place. Once you got those started, everything's all mounted. We're going to tighten those up and we'll be done. Make sure your wrench is tightening the right way. I'm going to get flame for that. Make sure your ratchet is tightening the right way. So get that snugged up like that. Okay, once they're both like that, torque down on it. Cool. Everything is tight. The rotor spins freely. Obviously there's some surface rust on this. These are used rotors for now. Yeah, there's no bad sounds. That's just the sound of the pad rubbing up against the rotor. You don't hear any like hard metal sounds, so that's good. And that is how you install the big brake kit for a S13.